In America, politics and religion are fused together in all kinds of complex ways.
The Kennedys are a charitable family. Here, the boys, Ted, Bobby, and Jack, deliver a contribution to Boston's Archbishop Cushing.
To many in America's Protestant South, the nation's first Catholic president was too Catholic.
It's a serious matter, so serious that when JFK met Pope Paul VI shortly after he became pontiff in the summer of 1963, he refused to kneel and kiss the ring. This upset the staff of Pope Paul VI, but John F. Kennedy had to do what was politically advantageous for him.
Donald Trump also believes in political advantage.
The Bible means a lot to me, but I don't want to get into specifics.
Even to cite a verse that you like?
No, I don't want to do that.
You're an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal. So help me God. So help me God.
The details didn't matter.
But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
64 years after Kennedy's election, Donald Trump carried both evangelical Protestants and a significant majority of America's 52 million Catholic voters.
When it comes to social issues like abortion and gay marriage, those things matter still in American politics, and is what has produced incredibly over 80% of the evangelical Christians voting for Donald Trump.
Around 70% of Americans are Christian, but in modern presidential elections, the Catholics matter.
Because Catholics are in places like Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin, kind of the middle of the country, where a lot of these elections are going to be won and lost, the close ones. If he lost 10 percentage points among Catholics, I mean, that would be game over for Republican candidates in many of these elections.
Yet, from almost the moment he was elected again, Trump has been offending his religious supporters.
Pope Francis actually died on Easter Sunday. And as the Catholic Church, and many Catholics are grieving, the Catholic Church is in a process of selecting their next leader, and a reporter asked President Trump at the time, well, who do you think you'd want to be as the next Pope? Do you have a preference? And he took the opportunity there to say, oh, well, maybe me. Maybe I should be the next Pope, and actually posted an image of himself in papal vestments on social media a year ago.
About 45% of American Catholics are Latino, and the decline in their support for Trump has been stark, mostly because of the president's immigration crackdown.
His favorability was down among Latino Catholics to 25%. So that's a 12-point drop just between the election and this February. So you're already in deep trouble, I think, among Latino Catholics.
And then came the stoush with the head of the Catholic Church.
Asking all people of goodwill to search always for peace and not violence, to reject war, especially a war which many people have said is an unjust war, which is continuing to escalate and which is not resolving anything.
I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo. He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime.
I think it was a stupid thing to do, not just because it's the Pope, not just because Catholics are 15 to 20% of the electorate, but because this is the first American Pope, and he's actually very popular here in the United States. He's a lot more popular than the president is right now.
The Pope wasn't backing down.
I have no fear of neither the Trump administration nor speaking out loudly about the message of the gospel.
Trump's posting of this image was offensive to both Catholics and Protestants.
Sacrilegious. Cannot believe that someone would equate themselves or superimpose their image on our Savior. It was very, very disturbing to me.
Well, it wasn't depiction. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support.
I do not buy that he didn't think it was Jesus. I think that was very much a post hoc thing that he said after the fact for damage control.
Of our president.
Donald Trump, of course, is not allowed to stand in the 2028 presidential election, but his vice president is.
I think it's very, very important for the Pope to be careful when he talks about matters of theology. One of the issues here is that if you're going to opine on matters of theology, you've got to be careful, you've got to make sure it's anchored in the truth, and that's one of the things that I try to do.
Vance was an atheist who converted to Catholicism in 2019.
He wasn't like telling Pope Leo to stay out of politics. He was lecturing him on being careful about theology. Like, that's not something you'd expect from a politician to be saying to the Pope.
Alienating Catholics will be a problem for Republicans long before 2028. November's midterms approach in the wake of an unpopular war. Presidential rhetoric at odds with key Christian values like compassion and mercy. And crucially, as far as American voters are concerned, the soaring cost of living.
So it's 60% disapprove of his job performance, and it's 40% approve. And again, the really dangerous number is hidden. 50% of Americans strongly disapprove of Donald Trump's job performance. You're not going to vote Republican if you strongly disapprove of the Republican president's performance.